This front office is leaving no stone unturned. A Las Vegas native who knows the #1 overall pick personally just earned a contract after a rookie minicamp tryout. The Raiders went all the way to Canada to poach an offensive lineman before he played a single CFL snap. A veteran offensive tackle with first-round pedigree is being linked as the final piece of protection around Mendoza, and a former first-round linebacker was shown the door before minicamp even opened. Raider Nation, let's get into it. You cannot teach chemistry, and the connection that already exists between this quarterback and wide receiver Jonathan Brady is exactly the kind of thing this front office was smart enough to recognize and lock in fast. Brady came into rookie minicamp on a tryout basis. No guarantees, no promises, just a chance to prove he belongs. And he did enough in that short window to earn himself a contract with the Las Vegas Raiders. That is not a small thing. Hundreds of players go through tryouts every single offseason, and most of them go home without a deal. Brady made it count. Now the football connection here is real and worth understanding clearly. Brady played with Fernando Mendoza at California in 2024 before following him to Indiana, and the two have been on the same roster for 2 full seasons. 50 catches for 501 yards in 2 seasons together means Brady already knows how Mendoza moves, how he throws, where he puts the ball, and how he thinks through his progressions. That kind of familiarity does not develop overnight in an NFL system. It gets built over years of actual repetitions together. For a rookie quarterback who is already working overtime to learn Clint Kubiak's playbook, having a receiver in that building who already speaks his language is a genuine advantage. On top of the football fit, Brady brings real special teams value. He was named second team All-Big Ten as a return specialist and took a punt return to the house last season. His best path to this roster runs through special teams, and everybody knows it. But his connection to Mendoza means he could see some offensive snaps as well. And then there is the local angle that Raider Nation is going to love. Brady grew up right here in Las Vegas and played at Bishop Gorman High School. A hometown kid fighting his way onto the Raiders roster is exactly the kind of story that resonates in that building. John Spytek made it clear that Mendoza's authenticity and genuine care for his teammates impressed everyone around him during the pre-draft process. Brady signing here is another piece of that same puzzle. A front office that understands culture and chemistry are not soft concepts. They win games. #2 overall pick in the CFL Draft, and the Raiders went out and signed offensive lineman Nicholas Henning before he ever played a single snap for the Toronto Argonauts. And that move tells you something important about how this front office thinks about roster building. Henning played at Queen's University in Canada. Not exactly a school that shows up on NFL scouting radars every spring, but what he put on tape was intriguing enough that Las Vegas decided to poach him from the CFL before another league got its hands on him. At 6'6", with the athleticism to play multiple positions along the line, Henning is a classic developmental prospect. He is under 300 pounds right now, which means he needs to add weight before he is ready to handle NFL-caliber defensive ends. But the foundation is genuinely interesting. NFL Draft Diamonds noted that he started his college career as an H-back and tight end before transitioning to offensive tackle, earned second-team All-Canadian honors at 2 completely different positions, and helped anchor a championship-winning offensive line at Queens. That kind of adaptability and football IQ across multiple positions is exactly what you want from a player you are bringing in to develop over time. The Raiders are not expecting Henning to contribute in Week 1 of the 2026 season, and nobody should be surprised by that. This is a long-term investment in a player with rare size and athleticism who fell through the cracks of the traditional scouting process because of where he played college football. Meanwhile, Trey Zune is already making his presence felt in the building in the best possible way. He talked about the balance between work time and downtime with his new teammates, and then said something about Mendoza that every Raider fan needs to hear. Zune called him a guy's guy, someone who connects with everybody, easy to talk to, super friendly, a genuine leader who makes everyone around him feel included. That is your #1 overall pick already building real relationships on day 2 of rookie minicamp. This offensive line is young, and it is going to grow together. And the early signs from both Zune and Henning suggest this front office knows exactly what it is building up front for the next several years. The skill positions are getting younger and more connected to Mendoza every day. The offensive line is being built with immediate contributors and long-term developmental pieces. But the right tackle spot is still the biggest unresolved question protecting this quarterback. Raider Nation, I need your take. Do you trust this front office to go get Jonah Williams and complete this line before training camp? Or do they stand pat and let the young guys figure it out? Drop it in the comments right now. Subscribe if you are locked in with this rebuild, because what happened right before rookie minicamp opened tells you exactly where this roster is headed. The right tackle position has been an inconsistency problem for this offense for too long, and the veteran name showing up in the rumor mill as the answer to that problem is offensive tackle Jonah Williams. And the fit is genuinely hard to argue against when you look at it clearly. Williams is 28 years old, he entered the league as a first-round pick, and he brings the technical foundation that this offense needs on the right side to properly protect Fernando Mendoza as a rookie quarterback learning a brand new system. Fair Munford Jr. has been out there giving effort, and nobody is questioning his work ethic. But effort and elite technique are two different things, and Williams brings the kind of footwork and pass protection consistency that Clint Kubiak needs from his right tackle in a system built around play action, boots, and giving the quarterback clean pockets to operate from. Think about what is at stake here. The Raiders just used the #1 overall pick on Mendoza. They brought in Tyler Linderbaum at center. They drafted Trey Zune in the 3rd round. They have invested serious resources into building this offensive line into something real. Leaving a genuine question mark at right tackle after all of that investment would be the one decision that undermines everything else this front office has done to set Mendoza up for success. Williams at around $10.3 million annually is not a cheap addition, but the Raiders entered May with approximately $20 million in cap flexibility, spending half of that remaining space on a proven veteran offensive tackle who immediately upgrades the most vulnerable spot on this line is not reckless spending. That is smart roster construction. John Spytek has shown all offseason that he understands the difference between spending money and investing money. Signing Williams would fall clearly into the second category. Nothing is confirmed, and these remain rumors at this stage. But every logical thread of this offseason points toward the same conclusion. The Raiders cannot afford to let Mendoza take unnecessary punishment behind a right tackle who has not proven he can handle the assignment consistently. Williams solves that problem the moment he signs. 19th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, and the Raiders cut linebacker Jamin Davis the day before rookie minicamp opened. And that decision tells you everything you need to know about how this front office operates and what they value in their roster construction process. Davis came into Las Vegas last season, worked his way from the practice squad to the active roster, appeared in 2 games with 1 start, and recorded 3 combined tackles. That is the entire summary of his time with this franchise. For a player who entered the league as a top 20 pick out of Kentucky, the arc of his career is genuinely painful to look at. Released by Washington 5 games into his 4th season, bounced to the Packers practice squad, claimed by the Vikings, appeared in 4 games, waived, claimed by the Jets, cut before the season, brought back to the Jets the following offseason, cut again in final roster trimming, and then signed to Las Vegas, where his NFL journey quietly came to an end the day before rookie minicamp. Davis is just 26 years old, and that makes this story even harder to sit with. A top 20 pick who never found his footing in this league, who battled injuries and scheme changes and front office turnovers across multiple organizations without ever getting a real chance to string together consistent seasons in one place. The NFL is brutally unforgiving, and Davis is proof of that. But from the Raiders' perspective, this decision makes complete sense and should not be a surprise to anyone watching this roster closely. This front office is not carrying roster spots out of sentiment or obligation to what a player used to be. They are building towards something specific, and every single roster decision reflects that vision clearly. The linebacker room is being reshaped around players who fit what Rob Leonard wants to run defensively, and Davis simply was not part of that picture going forward. Cutting him before minicamp, rather than letting the situation drag into training camp, is the clean and professional way to handle it. It gives Davis maximum time to find another opportunity, while keeping the Raiders' roster evaluation focused and uncluttered. Just Win Baby is not built on what players used to be. It is built on what this roster is becoming right now. This week showed exactly how this front office operates. A hometown kid earned his contract on the practice field instead of waiting for it. A 6'6" lineman from Canada got poached before anyone else could develop him. A veteran right tackle is being linked to the one unresolved spot on this offensive line. And a former top 20 pick was shown the door cleanly because this roster has no room for sentiment. Every move points in the same direction. Drop your take in the comments. This space belongs to everyone who is part of Raider Nation. Tomorrow we have more, and you do not want to miss it.